뿐만 아니라 딥스테이트에 대해서도 잘 알고 계신 것으로 알고 있습니다. 최근에 한국에서 검거된 간첩단 사건들을 통해서 북한 정권이 2020년 국회의원 선거에서 그 당시 미래통합당 대표였던 저에 대해서 미래통합당을 패망시키고 그 책임을 황교안, 제 이름을 불렀습니다. 황교안에 들씌워서 정치적으로 매장시키라, 이런 지령이 있었습니다. 북한 김정은 정권뿐만 아니라 대한민국 정치계나 또 주류 언론에서도 정치적 매장이 자행되어 왔다고 생각을 합니다. 미국에서 트럼프 대통령도 딥스테이트에 의해서 많은 고초를 받으신 것으로 알고 있는데, 미국과 한국의 딥스테이트는 어느 분야에 얼마나 큰 영향을 행사하고 있는지 이런 부분에 관해서도 고견을 말씀해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
And most importantly, how do we dismantle these forces to advance freedom and democracy?
The deep state, especially in the State Department, is extremely influential because they actually implement their own policies without regard to the president. As they say to any incoming Secretary of State who's appointed by the president, they say, well, you're only going to be here 4 years, but we're going to be here forever. And I think that's the mentality of the bureaucracy in places like the State Department. The only thing that you can do about that is to actually remove people. Because if you remove them, then you can appoint new people to take their place. We have seen in South Korea, for instance, in the National Election Commission, what we Americans would call the deep state, where you have it completely under the control of Minju, because we have seen the National Election Commission make decisions which are otherwise inexplicable. They won't investigate allegations of corruption. They will not toughen up their system to make it harder for China and North Korea to access it. They're investigating the people who raise questions of election fraud, and they even tried to change the law in South Korea to make it a crime to question the election. But we have seen that the National Election Commission's assurances have been really untrue. So, for instance, they have been saying all along that their electronic voting system couldn't be hacked. But we know that the North Koreans have actually hacked the system. And also South Korea's National Intelligence Service was given the task to see if they could hack the election system. And they were successful too. So we know that the election system in South Korea is vulnerable. And it's not only vulnerable, it's vulnerable to foreign hacking. And yet the National Election Commission won't do anything about it, which means that essentially what we've got in South Korea is a very entrenched deep state. And it's an entrenched deep state which is working not for the interests of South Korea, but is actually working for the interests of foreign powers, North Korea and China.